Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Livery number 9. It's the Williams FW43B. I don't know how to approach this. I feel quite bad. There will be an individual, there will be a team who have worked hard on this livery to create this thing. I want to be completely honest and completely transparent with my feelings about this livery. But also, like, I'm a designer. That's what I've done for years. I create work, I get feedback on it, and it's never nice getting bad feedback. And I know I kind of went in a bit on the Mercedes, and I don't want to bring anyone down. I don't want to be negative, but also I do owe it to just be honest with my opinion. Again, just like every livery, I've seen loads of comments, loads of people love this livery. It is subjective. Everyone's going to have their own perception, their own look. Honestly, and I'm filming this on Sunday evening, honestly, for me, this is one of the worst liveries of all time in Formula One. The front angle isn't great, but it's not terrible. I don't know why the Williams, the W is so small. I feel like that should be a bit bigger. It's not terrible from the front, and the back is just pretty simple, straight on at the back. Okay, fine. But it's the side angle, isn't it? The angles are just all over the place. Like, the angle is way too steep. You know, I talked in the last livery about that with the Haas. Like, a steep angle like that is very difficult to make work, if you ask me, because it's very obtrusive to the lines. And the thing I can't forgive is that Williams logo where the blue goes over it and it's under, and it just looks so wrong. And the Lavazza logo is just, why is it up there? It's barely visible. You've got it on a weird part of the car where it's going in, and it's got two colours meshing behind it. There's that big black space. Like, what's that about? Is there meant to be more logos there? But if there is, then why are they not there? Because the car just looks terrible without. The numbers are quite cool. I like that. I prefer the numbers on this than the Aston Martin. But other than that, I have very little to say positive about that. I am sorry, Williams, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, that's enough of tearing into that design. What about mine? What about my redesign? Put my money where my mouth is, because I'm not just tearing things down for no reason. I like to try and address all of my critiques and issues with it. They've said they tried to take inspiration from the past with the whole kind of the camel yellow with the white and the blue. Fair. So I'm applying that to this, but just trying to blend it more with what they are currently without harking too much back, but also kind of tying it a bit more with their team wear, for example, which is all navy. So we've got a navy base to start from. So base navy blue car, nothing special here, keeping it glossy all over. I know I've been messing around with matte and glossy finishes a lot in these videos, but this is just straight up glossy. Now, before we get into the colour, let's have a little chat about today's video sponsor. This is the 9th livery redesign I've done, and I get continuously asked, how do I go about learning how to do something like this? So all you need is a set of Corsa. You need to download from Race Sim Studio the F1 car model and the livery pack, and then you need a solid Photoshop knowledge to be able to navigate around this pretty intimidating looking Photoshop file. You'll say you're a complete newbie to design right, and you want to get involved, because for me, Photoshop is the most foundational tool you can use. You can do so much with it. So I'd strongly recommend that's the first thing you learn, and Skillshare is the perfect place to learn it. Of course, there's thousands of vetted classes on Skillshare covering photography, animation, illustration, marketing. I could go on. But for Photoshop, Alan Yubi's Photoshop Mega Course is a quality place to start. There's over 18 hours of content in the course broken down into hundreds of easily digestible segments, making the learning process way less intimidating than just one fat off big scary video. So if you are interested, the first 1,000 people to click the link in the top line of the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. There's literally nothing to lose and potentially a lot to gain. Right, back to the video. Let's see this baby with some colour on it. This is the base. So let's digest what we're looking at here. So looking at the front, little pinstripe, white pinstripe comes in here. Angles off the nose. We've got the blue with a little hint of yellow, white along here. I'll explain these because there's method to, maybe you might think this is madness as we go. Some little hints of yellow on the mirrors there, and a little hint of yellow up here, and then the blue. Big white along the side, and then white on the rear wing as well, and then the blue up here. So you've got a hierarchy, right? You've got the navy being the main color, then the white, then the bright blue, then the yellow. There's a hierarchy of like, there's a lot of that color, less of that, then less of that, less of that. That's what I like in design. That's the thing, when I look at the liveries that I've done over these videos, there are similarities, there are things that they all share, because obviously I do have a style of my own, you know, and sometimes it's difficult to break out of that. But maybe you've clocked where I got some of these elements from. So if you look at the iconic Canon Camel Williams, right? That's where the big white side pod comes from. That's where the white on the front of the front wing comes from. And that's where this little hint of yellow here comes up. This is also where this little white pinstripe as well comes from. So all of them are taken directly from that old car, just brought into the modern vehicle, right? Again, base navy fits with their branding. But again, it is a nod to the past that I think works really nicely. But now for the logos to bring it all together. So let's unpack, starting in the front. Williams logo here is bigger. Again, I think the Williams logo should be bigger on the actual car. It looks weirdly small for me. I put it in the blue just to offset against all the white around it. Safina, Pirelli, Lavazza, Financial Times, blah, blah, blah. Acronis, iconic, are here on the front wing. We come around to the side. We've got 63, George Russell, of course. AMG up here as well. The number's quite simple, but we know Mercedes love pushing AMG, and we know that Williams and Mercedes have that closer partnership. So let's stick a bit of AMG in there, all right? No sticker bomb, of course, but let's stick a little AMG here. Then Williams here, Safina, full colour Safina, title sponsor, you know, having their full colour normal logo in there, I think works really nicely. A little bit of red, again, little tribute to the old Canon, the red logo on a white background. Umbro here, fitted quite nicely, I thought. That's the teamwear, Symantec. Lavazza, again, secondary sponsor. You can see like Safina and Lavazza. Safina's slightly more prominent there, but Lavazza's got good prominence as well. 63, I've stolen the circle idea from Brendan, from what he did on the actual Haas, because I think that's really nice. And because this is kind of a retro-inspired livery directly, I think having that kind of more retro-esque number works. And I've also brought the number a bit higher. I didn't really like it down here where it typically is. And then again, come around to the back, nothing crazy here. Williams on the back instead of Safina. Versa I've whited out. I don't know why it's in full colour on the actual car. It just looks weird. And I've also brought up a bit of black here just to thin off the end of the engine. I think that just makes that white shape a little bit more flowing. And yeah, it's very different to what they've actually produced. Very different. But for me, it's chalk and cheese, mate. It's so much better. Like, this is a livery on its own. I think it's okay. It could be better, maybe. But compared to what they actually did, I think it's a no-brainer. 9 out of 10 done. I really enjoy making these videos. It's been quite exhausting because it does take a lot of time, and I've been trying to put these out as much as possible, trying to get in time to put out the Ferrari one in a timely manner. And then, of course, I'm going to have to do a video. Of course, I'm going to do a video ranking all 10 of the liveries. You can probably guess where I'm going to put the Williams from what I've said in this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate you taking the time. Thank you as well to Skillshare for sponsoring this one. This has been the only one that's been sponsored out of all of my redesigns. So you're welcome. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.